Good evening, everybody. Welcome to spring. It's our first masterclass in this group in spring 2021. I can't believe how fast time goes. Okay, checking, making sure I'm live. There we are. Hi, Carlene. Welcome. So, welcome, ladies, to Women Entrepreneurs with Passion for Life for our weekly free masterclass. And today we'll be talking about selling. But before I go on into that, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Maggie Perotten. I'm a host and founder of the group. I'm a business and leadership coach, and I help women entrepreneurs like yourselves grow successful businesses. So attract consistent paying clients without overwhelm. Hello, Gina. Hello, Mary Beth. Welcome. Hi, Julie. Awesome. I hope you can hear me well. I'm streaming through Zoom because I found that the quality of the video is better when I do that instead of going live on Facebook. So I hope, everything will be good. So let me know. But all right. So let's start on selling. And today we'll focus on thoughts or leadership thoughts around selling and leadership thoughts that you can actually have while, especially during your consults and conversations with potential clients, that will help you get a better conversion. Clear, loud and clear. Awesome. So first of all of us in the beginning, when we start maybe our businesses and so on, we feel uneasy about selling, and some of it comes because it's new. Again, anything new we feel uneasy about, and it's difficult to do. But also because sometimes we have those preconceived notions or sort of beliefs that selling is pushing on something onto somebody, something that they don't want, right? Like whether it's from the movies or from things we experience in our customer journey as a customer consumer. But really, truly, if you think about it, selling is helping. And selling, it's not necessarily, again, it's not about asking somebody or forcing somebody to buy they don't really want, but it's showing them that somebody who already has a need for our offer, that we're the best people to help them. Okay, so when you're talking to your ideal client, always think about they already have a need, otherwise they wouldn't be talking to me, especially if they came to you, or if the way you attract your clients is that, yeah, you are talking to people who are interested on a consult call, so they already have a need. And really, the conversation, or your job in the conversation, is to really listen to them, understand what that need is, and show them that you are the best person for them, because they're going to buy anyway, right? So why not from you? So that's kind of just a little bit of introduction. Okay, Victoria, looks good, clear, perfect. So now, also, think about it always this way. If when you're offering, whether it's your services, whether you for your products and so on, I'm sure you believe in the quality of what you offer, right? Of the quality of your service, of the quality of the product. You know that offer helps. And also, so those are the beliefs you need to have, and we'll talk about it, but it's definitely the thoughts and beliefs you need to have when you're talking to your potential client. Because of course, if you do not believe in you as a service provider, in the quality of your offer or in your products, then you can't expect your potential client to believe more, right? You need to believe first. And of course, you need to believe in your ideal client, that they're there to make the best decision for themselves, ideally, and hopefully it's a decision that works for everybody. It's a win-win. But often, so this is what I wanted to tell you to think, because very often we think of sales like, oh, nobody wants to buy it, or I'm talking to the wrong people, or who would buy from me when there's so many other people offering the same thing, or either it's the same product, again, the same service, and so on. So we'll talk about the thoughts you can think instead of these ones that will help you. But before we get to that, I wanted to talk about three sort of reasons that maybe right now, if you're talking to your ideal clients, you're not getting as many conversions through those conversations as you would like to. And it's not about getting 100% conversions. So let's just be clear, even with the skill and everything you have, even the best salespeople in the world not necessarily sell, to 100% of the people they talk to, but you can definitely increase the conversions you have with the skill and the energy. We'll get to that while you're talking to your ideal clients. But what are the reasons why right now you might not be getting those conversions, not as much as you want? So number one is that lack of belief, right? Again, so think about if you don't believe in your offer, in yourself, especially as a service provider, right? When we're service providers, we're kind of selling ourselves, and it's sometimes more difficult than we're selling a product that it's physical and people can see if we used it and so on and so forth, right? It's more tangible, whereas services is more intangible, especially in the beginning if the client hasn't seen the results and so on. So sometimes it's more difficult. So without the belief, the firm belief in what you offer, the value of that in yourself, the energy that you have is not necessarily, compelling for the client to believe in you, right? So that comes first. Your belief comes first. Then your client attraction process could also be the culprit. So for example, maybe you're not clear in your messaging, or even if you're networking, maybe you're not clearly explaining, or, conversations that you're having, the way you have the conversations and so on might be contributing to the fact that you're not attracting people who are already interested in your product for the sales conversations. Because I get like coffee chats and stuff that we have, so that's a very different thing. Like networking coffee chats, it's not about really finding client, it's about just networking and meeting as many people as possible and exchanging things about the business, and you never know what comes out of it. What I'm talking about, it's more once you get past the networking and so on, and you have somebody reaching out, or whether it's for your post or because they heard about you and so on, so they're sort of already interested, and then maybe they're not clear about how to work with you or whatever, something in your messaging, yes, attracted them, but it didn't attract either the right person, or again, like they might have a different understanding of that consult or the call than you are. So there's different things that could be contributing, but that could be one. And then your sales skills, and by sales skills, again, I mean leading the conversation, so you being sort of in the driver's position of that conversation and leading it in a way where, again, you get a chance to listen to your ideal client, understand what they need, and then present your offer as a solution to their needs in a way that it's very clear for them. So a lot of it is about the words, not necessarily energy, but the words. Energy too, energy is important, but also the words. So being clear in your wording, in the way you explain, so they can kind of connect the dots and say, oh yeah, Maggie is the business coach for me because this is what I need and she can help, right? Or, Victor, right, is the contractor for me because they understood exactly what I need in my kitchen and they will give me exactly what I want. So that, Victor, I can never sell something that I don't really like or believe 100%. Right. No, it doesn't. That exactly, because if you don't believe it, nobody will sell. It's very hard to sell something if you don't believe. The best salespeople understand that and they make sure that they believe in what they're selling. So it definitely doesn't. It makes you, Victoria, a salesperson with integrity. Okay, we're not here, and that's also against my values, to trying to teach people sales techniques to push, again, to make people buy something they don't need or they don't want or they can't afford or whatever, right? So it's about selling with integrity, but skills help. Because again, like as human beings, very often, let's say we have a need and we want something and we know it's good for us, but then we don't buy it because we're scared of the investment or we're scared of losing money and not necessarily looking at what that investment can give us, right? Even a rental, oh my God, it's so much money, but then my home will be more valuable and the life I'll have, the way I feel and so on. So people very often talk themselves out of spending money or whatever, and it's not always in their best interest. Sometimes it is, but not always. So that, I hope that makes sense. Like I'm sure, ladies who are coaches and even, VAs, when you're a service provider, you can see that, right? You see that the person is, for example, VA, you, right? You know that they're super busy and that you could help them and ultimately they're actually saving money, but outsourcing to a VA, but they've never done it before and they're like, oh, I don't have time or whatever excuse or, thought their brain is serving them and they never go and they never do that. And with that, they're preventing themselves from growing the business because they just, there's 24/7, there's only so much. At some point to grow the business, we need to outsource, we need to get help. And if we never do it, we'll never grow the business. We might want it. We might be thinking, oh, I'll come up, I'll figure it out on my own, but we can't. Very often, we want certain results. If we could do it alone, we would already have that result. So the reason why we don't have it is because we need some sort of help, whatever that is. But so that, I hope that makes sense. Okay, so now let's go here. So selling is your energy, how you make people feel, plus the words that you say, how you explain, whether it's clearly and so on. And, I don't have a scientific number here and so on, but really, truly, the energy is maybe between 60 and 80% of your success. And then the words kind of top it up between 40 and 20%. Like just imagine, imagine if you went buy a car. Let's just, make it easy. Again, you have a person that's kind of is that sleazy, your typical car salesperson. They're not listening to you. They're just trying to push you any car you have. You already have a need, right? You have a car. And then the way, maybe they're saying all the right things, but the way they're saying and the energy, kind of the vibe they give out just pushes you away. I'm sure you've all been that in the situation, right? And then and you don't buy because you just don't want to deal with that person. And then you have another person, a car representative, salesperson, who, let's say, says the exact same things, right? Like whatever, but listens to you first and is genuine and, understands that you're a family and you have 4 and 5 kids and asks you, what type of car you have rather than trying to push you a sports car when you came for a van and they don't even take time to understand you and so on. And is genuine and calm and kind of understands, right? You would buy from that person, and it's because of the energy and vibe that they say, even if in the end, most of the words that they say would be the same. And that's why, okay, very often I'm borrowing like stick figures from the coach that I work with. She draws a lot of stick figures. I like it. So sometimes when you have the right energy and so on, it might be easier for you to sell more with more money. So let's just say coaching, or again, like VA services, or Victoria, a rental or something that costs more money. And the client will be like, yes, take my money, no problem, no problem. Then somebody who might be cheaper, it might have a similar product, but is that kind of person either sees you or not energetic, doesn't believe in their product, doesn't believe in themselves in delivering and so on. And then the person will be, oh, I need to think about it. Oh, no, I don't. So energy has a very, very important part of it. And there's this famous quote from Maya Angelou, and I'm sure you ladies know it, when she says, people don't remember what you said, but they will always remember how you made them feel. And that's why this is so important. So even if you mess up the words, but you're clear enough so your client understands how you can help them. But let's say you're not the best salesperson and so on, don't know all the things. If you have the right energy, you have more chances to sell actually than the other way around. That saying knowing the words and knowing the perfect, but not having the right energy about it. We feel, right? Body language, whole body. I'm sure you've heard that and you've experienced that. It's very important. So for example, now about the skill, what I want to say, skill is something, energy is the beliefs and the thoughts, and it has to be worked on. And I will give you some, I will teach you today with a few examples. The skills you can also learn. So everything here is learnable. Okay, everything here you have influence over, you can perfect. Like for example, with the words for me, my selling career, I always had it a bit, but it's different. So I remember when I finished university and after doing like a mat leave as an executive assistant. So my very first job was like an executive assistant for a legal counsel in Poland for GlaxoSmithKline. So it was really like more translation and so on. But after I finished that, I had 2 jobs in sales. One was for a company, like agriculture company that was growing mushrooms, and we're selling those mushrooms to wholesalers and things. So I was traveling everywhere and so on. And then the second job before I came to Canada was in fashion. We were selling actually fabric to the producers, to the manufacturers of clothing for people. Okay, so that was my journey. And then in the corporate world, it was more corporate. So it's different. There's a lot of presentations, a lot of demos. So like sales is very different than, for example, now when I'm having conversations and consults with my potential clients. And that's definitely a skill that I've been growing for the past 2 years, because it's, it still needs that adaptation, right? It's not mushrooms, it's not a product, and it's not the corporate type of selling. So honing that skill, depending on where you are, of course, it's one of the most important skill you will ever have in your business. And it helps in family as well. Those are leadership skills, persuasion skills, or conversational skills that will help you anywhere, not just in business. Okay, so I need to do this. Okay, so let's get into the energy and the thoughts, because energy comes from emotions, right? So when our brain thinks, it sends electrical, whatever signals, I don't know if they're electrical, but whatever, neuron signals to our body, and we feel things, right? So if somebody tells you, I love you, and you love that person back, of course, what type of feeling you have, right? Or if your child tells you that, right? Or if somebody heard something, maybe even hurtful, maybe they even didn't mean it, but how do you feel about that, right? So our thoughts, words from somebody else, or our own thoughts create our emotions, and that kind of releases energy, negative or positive. Okay, so now what I wanted to say is that for clients to buy, so during the conversation or however you interact with them, they need to be confident. They need to feel confident in your ability, right, to deliver whatever you're promising through your offer. They need to be clear. So there needs to be clarity how that offer helps them, right? And they need to be safe, feel safe, so have certainty that the value, so kind of feel safe about the price and about the results. Meaning for the client, price doesn't really matter unless it's really completely outside of the range of budget. But if it's within their budget, whether it's $100 more, it's $500 more, or whatever, usually it doesn't matter as long as they're clear on the value and confident and safe in a way that they will get the result that you're offering. Beautiful kitchen, help with their, paperwork or whatever, bookkeeping, clean bookkeeping, tax returns, whatever the case might be. Okay. So that's kind of during the conversation, those are the feelings and emotions that your potential clients needs to feel in order to have that comfort and buy from you. So now, what are the thoughts that you should have instead of, oh my God, I really need that sale, or they're not going to buy from me, or they can't afford it, or, who would buy from me? There's so many others. Instead of thinking those things that are really creating that negative energy, making you attached to the outcome on sale, and the vibe is not what you want to be, you want to reprogram your brain and work on having these thoughts. And those are just examples, but those are 4 examples you can start with. And we'll go through one by one. So number 1 is I can help anyone, and then clients come to me. Meaning, and that should be an easy one, because very often when I talk to my clients and I try them to kind of maybe determine, especially for online marketing, what their niche would be, or some sort of general, idea of who they help, they say, well, I can help anyone. Right? So that should be easy. And that thought that you can help anyone and then the clients come to me gives you sort of that belief in yourself as a deliverer of the service. And even, again, if you have a product, that product, or you can think about it this way, I can help anyone within the niche. So if you have a product and you have a service that's very specific and so on, you could help anybody that can, within that niche. It gives you that confidence and the calm knowing during the conversation that you indeed can, that you don't have to. So then instead of, again, thinking like, oh, why would they buy from me? Right? There's so many other people. Instead, well, you can help them, that, right? You believe in yourself. And you can reframe those thoughts the way it works for you and makes sense for you. So those are just examples. But what you want to create with them is the confidence and believe in yourself. Okay. Now, when clients come to me, creates that, again, calm and feeling confident in your expertise and so on, and not the need of chasing people and, trying to kind of make them come to you for a consult. So as long as you're networking, right, you're talking to people, you're meeting people, you're providing them with value, or you have, an audience, just like here, right? Like whether it's or your Instagram, whatever, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you are, if you have an audience and you're sharing things with them and so on, they will get to know you and they can come to you. So then the second thought that helps you with creating belief in yourself, but also confidence in your client that you can help them, is that you are the best person to help them. Okay. And if you are not clear on that, if you yet don't believe that you are in your business, I would encourage you to work on it and find as many reasons. I always give that to my clients as an exercise, Gina knows, is to come up with as many reasons as you can why you're the best person for your clients to help you, to help them. Okay, so then you create that confidence in yourself that, yes, indeed, every time I talk to a potential client, I am the best. Same, Victoria, with you guys. Think about it. Why are you the best company who can help your potential clients with their brand or whatever they're doing? whatever they want to do in their house. Okay. So now imagine you're coming into the conversation with that thought. And it's not about being, it's not, again, it's not the confidence of being, you know, boastful or feeling like you're better than anybody else and so on. It's more to creating that calm feeling, unattached to the outcome, and that calm confidence that, yeah, I can help you. No problem. You have a problem. You need a kitchen right now? No problem. You need to grow your business. You want to attract, you know, consistent clients without overwhelm, without working yourself to death. I can help you. No problem. I know. And I am the best person to help you. And I know that, right? I'm confident about it. Because we're going to provide them with the best or nothing, no compromise. Exactly. So then another thing, and that also gives you clarity, right? So when you know all the reasons why you're the best person to help your clients, it also allows you to explain it to them better. So the more kind of you work on it and the more you practice, the clearer you are in your explanation. And that helps them with gaining the clarity during the conversation. Why is that? Because one, you knowing is one thing, but you being able to explain it in a simple manner, it's very important, right? Because nobody's a mind reader. Our clients are not, we're not. It's all about communication. So then the third thought is, when I show up in service, a yes is always on the way, okay? Even if it's not this person. And I like that thought, and it even helps me to create, to be able, so you're not attached to the outcome. Because when we're attached to the outcome during the sales conversation, then again, you have those thoughts thinking, oh my God, what if they don't buy? Or what if this? And what if that? And we start like getting into our head too much. Sometimes we don't even listen. Sometimes, you know, it's just then it's that salesy energy comes out, right? When you get attached to the outcome. So your calm confidence and the thought that I just want to help this person, so I'm there to talk to them, to help my clients, and ultimately it's their decision if they will choose my help or not. But I'm not attached to that. I will just be my best to show them that I can, you know, I will show up and in my best way show them that I can help them. But without being attached to the outcome, gives the client safety feeling that you're not after their money, that you actually care about them as a person, about their success, their results, whatever those results are, whatever you're thinking, that you're not just about the money, right? Of course, we're all businesses. We all want to be profitable. We all want to do what we love and live off of this. So that's normal, right? That you're going to charge the money. But ultimately, that's not the main goal. The main goal is to help your client. And that thought will help you project that energy of being focused on helping and being of service, and not just like, oh my God, I need a sale. Yeah. Yeah, in our case, it's all about presentation, knowledge, and for pricing. Right, Victoria. But that will show while you're talking and presenting as one. And the way you present or the energy will project that also will give your clients that kind of confidence and safety to buy. Because again, you can still have knowledge, like there's different people who have knowledge, but knowledge doesn't create that comfort in your ideal client. It creates like maybe certainty, like, okay, well, they're gonna do the good job, but are they going to be, you know, are they going to be easy to work with, or if issues come up, or are they going to be, you know, on time, and will do what they say they will do, and when they will sell they will do, right? Yeah, Victor is a charm. Yes, he is. Okay. So yeah, so when you're unattached to the outcome, what also happens is those, thoughts like I need the sale or this or that, or oh my God, I really want them to buy because they're my ideal client, they're amazing. They go away, and then you can focus on the clients and you can listen to them, right? You can really listen to them, you can understand their problem, and then it's much easier again to explain how your solution fits in their problem or their goals, understand their goals and how your solution fits in that goals. And it's much easier to explain because it's very hard to concentrate and if we're like in our head all the time. That's why the next, well, down the road, here's the clear your mind because those conversations. So being open to listening and so on. Okay. So the fourth thought, and again, example, is nothing is wrong. And what I mean by that is to release yourself of judgment of your client that is talking to you. So, for example, judgment of, oh, they can't afford it, or they tell me this, that means they can't afford it, or maybe it's too expensive to them, or maybe that's not the right time for them, or maybe this and that. Okay. So, when they tell you different things, objections or whatever, never assume. Always be curious. Okay, nothing is wrong. Even if they're objecting, like, oh, I need to think about it, or, oh, maybe it's more than I thought. For example, they say it that way, right? But more than I thought can mean different things for different people. Maybe it's only $50 more than they thought, or $100 or whatever. Maybe it's like completely out of the budget. So bring this thought to yourself. So when you are kind of trying, or when client says something and you're starting to panic in your mind, thinking like, oh my God, they're not going to buy this one, bring this. Nothing is wrong. Don't judge your client, just have a conversation, ask them, be curious in an open, curious way, not in that attached things. Because, in a way, like I always tell myself, who are you really to judge your client's ability to be resourceful and come up with money or create time, for example, for me, for coaching and so on. And I wanted to bring you that example. Like, I think the best example will be, I'm sure most of you watched Pretty Woman, right? With Julia Roberts. Old movie, but it's like a classic. I love it. And remember, there's this scene where she gets the money from the prince, whatever his name is, I forgot the businessman, to buy herself clothing for whatever outings they have, right? And she's like full of money, she's super excited, she's going shopping. And she goes to that first store, and then the salesperson there is judging her. It's judging her based on her appearance, based on the way she speaks, that, oh, she cannot afford it, right? And they're dismissing her. They're like not even inviting her and so on. So she gets upset and she goes to another store where their salespeople are open. They have no judgment. Nothing is wrong with them or this person, our ideal client, and she spends the fortune there. Right? And she dresses up, she looks amazing, beautiful, and then she goes into that store to show the lady who kind of judged her, to say like, see, you just lost so much money because you judged me. And that's a very graphic example. Sometimes we have that judgment more. Sometimes we have the judgment more of compassion and thinking like we're compassionate with our clients, but you never know. Like, even when I look, especially about the money, when I look at it, in my life and so on, and there was times where, I couldn't necessarily afford things that were important to me and so on, or things that I wanted. But every time there was something really important to me for my life and so on, I always came up with the money. I always figured it out. whether, I gave more classes or I could go to another job or whatever it was, I always came up with it, even though I didn't have it in the moment. Like to move to Canada. I had to have a lot of money to move to Canada and pay for things, and I figured it out. And I didn't have it at the moment when I decided. So that's kind of, nothing is wrong, is two ways, is A, not to judge your client, and also give yourself calm and not let your mind try to freak out during the conversation. Just to calm back down and just have an open mind and have a really heartfelt conversation in the service for your client. And then the last thing is to really clear your mind before any sales consult, conversation, or whatever you're going to have. I know that we all have lives, and sometimes we go from meeting to meeting or from conversation to conversation, or something happened at home and we had to deal with it, and then 2 minutes later we have a conversation. But always take like even 30 seconds to debrief and clear your mind, so you're not thinking about anything during that conversation. You're not thinking about what happened or what do you have to do, and you're fully present for your potential client, because you want to be able to listen to them. You want to be able to show them that they're the most important person to you in that moment. And we all can say, if somebody's not present in the conversation and they're kind of thinking about something, we can always see that. We can always say that. So again, that energy is not that service best energy you can give. So always take time. It doesn't have to be long, even 30 seconds, to clear your mind and to ground yourself before each conversation you have. And it will allow you to get less stressed, think it through, again, be clearer in what you say, listen better, understand better, and therefore convert much more potential clients into your clients. Okay. And listening is definitely one of the leadership skills, key leadership skills that we all need to have. We all need to practice. Nobody teaches that in school, right? Nothing is wrong with us because nobody teaches us that. So it's something that we can practice. Any questions, ladies, before I summarize? Okay. So as a summary, during your sales conversations or your consults or whatever you call them, again, the most important feelings that you want to have, but also, evoke in your client is the confidence. So it's a confidence in you, the belief in yourself that you're the best person to help them, the belief in your offer. So whether it's your service or your product and so on. And then they having the same confidence that you're the best person to help them, right? And that the confidence in the result that your offer promises, that you promise. You want to create clarity. So clarity is coming from understanding how you can help them and then communicating that. So it needs to be clear to the clients. So here it's what the words are important, or at least some of it is important. And then you want to create safety. So a safe space for them to feel like you're not just after the money, that you're there to serve them. So you're showing up in service. And you do that by not judging them on anything, on their ability to buy or not ability to buy, or ability to buy now or later or whatever. And then clearing your mind and again, being present and understanding them and really listening to them, but also driving the conversation And that's where the skill comes in, to kind of be in charge of the conversation, driving the conversation so it doesn't go on the tangents and you lose control. And then it takes much longer and nothing comes out of it because you're not, you know, you might not even get an opportunity to show the client how you can help them if you are not in charge in that flow. Okay, so those are some examples of the thoughts. You can come up with your own thoughts that could help you be in that space, in that mind frame, and create those emotions. And I wanted to invite you to practice that now going forward when you meet your ideal clients. And I'm sure you will see positive results just even in that, just even in the thoughts and the emotion that will generate, and even how the conversation will go. And now, if that resonates with you and you want to learn more, and if you want to gain more skills, selling skills and others, and clarity in your messaging online and so on, and you're interested in having a business coach, then you can always reach out to me. So PM me, I'm in this group, no problem. But other than that, that's it for today. And see you tomorrow, Motivational Monday, first Monday of the spring. And then on Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, there is always live Q&A when you can just come in and ask me any questions. And I offer free coaching to anybody who shows up and types up a question. And then, of course, next weekend, we'll have a free masterclass with a guest. And I'll announce it during the week. All right. Gina, this is great. I have a discovery call this week. All right. Awesome. And we can talk more tomorrow if you want. So awesome, awesome. Thank you, Donna, Gina, Victoria. You're welcome, Angie, Amandeep. So have a good Sunday. Well, good evening for most of us. And then see you everybody tomorrow. Bye. Mm-hmm.